Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens once again fell in the NFL playoffs, this time in the AFC Championship game to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now I'm going to be focusing on Lamar Jackson's play and the Baltimore Ravens team as a whole, how they performed. I don't want to talk about the Chiefs because every goddamn content creator out here is just like making Chiefs videos, and that's not fun. So let me do something different. Lamar Jackson, this is a channel about hot takes. If you didn't already know, this is my hot take. Lamar Jackson's still not a playoff performer. I feel like people got the random notion that he's arrived in the playoffs because he beat the Texans. First of all, the Texans were led by rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud and rookie head coach D'Amico Ryans, and with key pieces like Tank Dell out, they had people injured and their defense played like garbage in that game. Well, in the first half, it was a competitive game, and the Texans really looked formidable. But then, they dropped right back down to reality, and they stunk it up. They sucked in the second half, and they lost the game. Pretty sure they got blown out in that one. That was really not a good half from them, and they lost the game bad. The Ravens handled it with ease, and this is the game a lot of people should have been dreading because this is a really good defense on paper. Statistically, they're one of the best. The Chiefs have one of the best defenses in the National Football League when it comes to every major statistical category. So it was going to be a tough test. Is Lamar really here to stay in the playoffs? Is he really going to become that, clutch playoff quarterback? A lot of Ravens fans have been christening him as of recently because he beat the goddamn Houston Texans in the divisional round of the playoffs, and whoop-de-doo, he shit his pants again, and we're back to square one because, you made the AFC Championship game, but if you have to face teams with good defenses, which you're going to do in the playoffs, because that just means more than regular season football, you're going to have to face defenses like the Chiefs in the playoffs every single year you make the playoffs. So that means you're just never going to get anything done in the playoffs. You're never maybe even going to make a Super Bowl. A Super Bowl with the current core players because Lamar Jackson is not playing well against these elite rated defensive units in the playoffs. And once again, the narrative was, when Lamar Jackson lost that game to the Bills, he just shit his pants, had that horrible pick six in the end zone. Like in 2021, where he just threw the worst pass I've ever seen in my life and just threw the game away for the Baltimore Ravens. Threw it all the way away. Gave them no shot at coming back and winning that football game. The notion ever since then has been, Lamar's not a playoff performer. And then all of a sudden he beats the Houston Texans with rookie head coach Ryans and rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud, injured players, and, a defense that's inconsistent at best. They handle them with relative ease. First half, there was sort of, 50-50, but then they pulled away, obviously. But they do that. They beat a team that they should have beat in the first place, that they were favored to beat. A lot of people thought they'd destroy them, and they did. They handled them with ease. And now, okay, the next test is the Kansas City Chiefs, an actual formidable opponent, a formidable foe. Lamar Jackson fades away. He stops being good. He looks like a $300 million Lamar against the Houston Texans' weak defense, who played like shit that game. And then he looks like year one Lamar against the Kansas City Chiefs defensive unit. I don't understand it. I've never seen a quarterback flip a switch like that, where he looks super good in one game, and then he plays like he's never touched a football in his life in the game that actually matters more, in the AFC title game. I don't get that. I really can't name any other fucking quarterback that does that, where he looks like $1 million against one team, he looks like a penny against the next team. I will never understand that. I never will. And Ravens fans have been trying to say that people are like racist or something like that because they call Lamar a playoff choker when the playoff stats, they're right there. They don't tell lies. That the games against the Titans, the Bills, and now this one, it's just like the narrative's not going to go away unless he makes the Super Bowl. Once he makes the Super Bowl and has good performances where he doesn't get carried by his defenses, then, we can talk. We can talk about Lamar Jackson, no longer being a playoff choker, looking like a Maserati in the regular season, and then he looks like a rundown 1960s Chevrolet in the biggest games in the postseason. We can talk about Lamar being a good quarterback in the playoffs then when he makes a Super Bowl, maybe even wins a Super Bowl. But for now, that narrative isn't changing. I'm not gonna sit and be ridiculous and say, well, they need a new quarterback. That'd just be me trolling to piss people off. I'm trying to be honest here. Lamar Jackson is the franchise quarterback. They're not going to pivot in any different direction. It's not happening. It's not even realistic to expect them to move on from Lamar this early. He's still only like 26, 27. He's still pretty young in quarterback terms, to be honest with you. So they're gonna rock with him, and I don't know if the experiment is gonna pan out. He's got that huge $300 million contract. We'll see if he plays up to that money, because this year in the regular season, he looked really good, he looked polished, he looked poised, and once again, in the playoffs, in a game that matters, he was not good. He sucked. And he looked horrible. He just didn't look good at all. He was taking checkdowns. He wasn't aggressive. He was scared of the moment. That's the problem with these quarterbacks now. They're scared of seizing the moment, taking that moment, saying, this is my moment, goddammit, and I'm not going to let anybody on the other team or my teammates take it away from me. I'm going to be a hero. I'm not saying play hero ball, run around, throw it up, hopefully one of your receivers catches it. I'm saying sometimes you got to take a risk. Lamar Jackson was not a risk taker in this game. He checked it down to the flats almost every time. His only deep pass was on a busted, broken coverage. There were high schoolers that could have made that pass. Let's be real. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves. It was a really easy pass. I know it was like 50 yards down the field, but come on. You can tell me a 5-star quarterback can't throw it 50 yards down the field on a busted coverage or wide open player down the sideline. They can do that. Come on. But Lamar Jackson really didn't look good, and the Ravens did not look good at all. Their defense was really, really good, but that performance and effort was wasted by Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens offense. Really just underwhelming in general. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.